Three guys with big egos versus three girls with even bigger muscles. Someone's getting dragged.
It's gonna have to be interesting. I can't wait to watch this. Write in the comment section right now, who's gonna win this Coach Greg, in today's video, jacked girls versus average Joes. Who's stronger? And so by jacked girls, we're talking about steroid women. I do believe that at least 2 out of the 3 of these girls, they're not natural. Maybe it's all 3. Certainly, at least one of them isn't natty. And they're competing against average Joes, you know, guys who don't go to the gym, normal guys, not guys like Coach Greg training and so on. They're just average men. Who's going to be stronger? My opinion, the average Joe by far is stronger than jacked chicks. And I don't care if they're natural or on performance-enhancing drugs. You all think that just because a girl's on steroids or that she works out, that she's stronger than an average man? If that were the case, average Joes wouldn't be able to identify as women and be able to mop the floor with most females. But being born a man, having 10 times more testosterone, it gives men an unfair advantage. And so they're going to go head to head, and I'm going to predict that the men win every single event. 26,000 comments on this video, 4.5 million views. It's going to have to be interesting. I can't wait to watch this. And so write in the comment section right now, who's going to win this shit? Like, who's winning? Those dudes had no ego. They're probably the chillest guys around. Alternative title, 3 girls with something to prove versus 3 guys just having fun. My alternative title was 3 girls probably on steroids against 3 guys who don't give a shit.
3 guys with big egos versus 3 girls with even bigger muscles. Someone's getting dragged. Oh, I didn't work. It's gonna be them.
What? Seriously?
And so he assumes that the men are going to win because after all, the women are highly trained, they're athletes, they compete. But we're talking about average Joes, you know? It's not 3 jacked women on steroids against 3 of the weakest men we could find. It's 3 average men against 3 superior females. All these women are phenomenal, way above average. But they're not competing against other women. They're competing against average Joes. And so it isn't fair. This is moronic. They have no chance. It's biology. One superior man could beat all 3 women at the same time. And so don't you think that 3 average guys could beat 1 average man? And so clearly, they're going to smoke these ladies. Let's find out.
Both teams are gonna drag a 100-pound sandbag down to the barrel twice and back.
I'm Brooke McCluskey. I'm a powerlifter. This is nothing for me. The fit chicks will come out on top.
She's a power lifter. Okay, what does squat, bench, and deadlift have to do with dragging 100 pounds there and back? It's not going to help a lot. Powerlifting does not translate over perfectly well to dragging a bag.
Don't be offended that we're stronger than you. I'm a reservist now, did active duty for 8 years.
Anyone hear something a little bit different there? Were there any drug testing involved in this? It says 3 jacked girls. I guess it's not an enhanced or natural competition. It's not 3 naturally jacked girls. It's 3 girls probably on steroids against 3 average Joes, but yet they're still going to lose. So competitor number 1, we have Exhibit A, her voice. Exhibit B, her hairline. I'm not trying to shame. I'm not trying to put them down. I'm trying to tell you that if you're a jacked girl, you go to the gym, lift weights, you're a power lifter and so on. This is great. But if you use performance-enhancing drugs, it may in fact deepen your voice and it can in fact cause your hairline to go backwards in the same way of that of a man. Think of it, you're introducing more male hormones. And so essentially you're becoming more of a man. After all, when you're a woman transitioning to a man, they give you testosterone. And so if you are a woman and you take testosterone, you're essentially self-transitioning. And so you'll see the hairline start to go back. Hey, as a caution to you all, if you're a woman in particular, if you don't want to turn into a man, don't take a male hormone. Does that make sense?
Don't be offended that we're stronger than you.
Even if they were offended, I don't believe they would be offended by you being stronger than them. They would hear the voice. They would assume she's probably on performance-enhancing drugs. And so Would I really take offense if a female on steroids was stronger than me? Why would I? It's perfectly okay. As men, we don't think we need to be better than women at everything. We just are. I mean, it's not our fault. Here's the difference. We think we're better than women at essentially everything, but even if we're not, we don't care. Like, you really think I would care? For example, I'm very good at bike racing. If I go and race a female who's competing in the Tour de France for women, she's one of the best bike riders in the world, I don't expect to beat her. I'm thinking maybe, depends on the distance, she's probably faster than Coach Greg, but I'm okay, I'm 50. I would expect that there's a few ladies in the world, the best females of all time, that would beat myself. And so if I'm racing a female on a bike head to head and she beats me, I'm okay with that. It doesn't bother me whatsoever. I congratulate her and say, job well done. You are better than me at bike racing. And so why are they trying to paint it like it's us versus them? I would say, you're so good at bike racing, you beat me. Won't you join the Team HTLT bike racing team? I would love to have you on your team. You're faster than me. I want you on my team. We're going to be that much better. And so, for example, Mepstagram, my girlfriend who races on the Harder Than Last Time cycling team, we welcome females, males, trans, gay, straight. We don't care. We want people who love bike racing, and in particular, people like bike racing and lifting weights. And so if you're interested in racing on Team HTLT, we're hoping Will Tennyson will join soon. He's training on a Zwift bike. Then please join our ever-growing list of like-minded individuals who have muscles, are training with weights and racing bikes all at the same time. If you want to join the team, of course, hit us up on Zwift Power. Look for HTLT in the same way that you look up HTLT supplements on the internet. And remember, I know many of you are unemployed, and so if you're seeing this video and you get to the website, use code UNEMPLOYED for 20% off and thank me later. Back to the video.
Walk it out, walk it out.
135, 136, average Joe's past the barrel.
If you're in such a massive lead, especially you're videotaping this, you want the video to go viral, you don't want to win by so much. You kind of, as a man and you're competing against a woman, you kind of go a little bit easier and you let them catch up. You don't want to embarrass them. I mean, if you're a man and you lose to a woman, you're cool with that. It's not a big deal. But if a woman loses to a man, well, they might get aggressive. We've seen that when Jesse James West essentially did the same video. And you remember the arm wrestling section. Bro had beaten the woman and she got mad. She was visibly angry, was going to go and slap him around outside of the gym. And he's like, I guess I shouldn't beat you all 2 out of 3. I should let you win once in a while. But I mean, he was an average Joe against a steroid-induced female. And so she expected to win. Bro was like, I'm just here to have fun.
I am Jesus Miguel Chavez. The reason I'm here today is because I reacted to a Craigslist ad. The individual here said fun times. So this is not what I expected.
And so imagine you show up for fun times and perhaps said there's going to be women involved and you end up having to lift weights and compete against them. You were thinking, I thought this was going to be like Jello mud wrestling or something, or a dating show. It said, have fun. And so, bro, clearly an average Joe.
Hey, Sus, watch the bag.
They said this wasn't cardio. Yeah, what the fuck?
And so what are we now learning? That what? Women who are jacked can be stronger than men, but that their cardio is worse than men. And so just in case you're wondering, the discrepancy between males and females in strength is far greater than that during cardio. Cardio, it's max 10 or 15%. And so if you were to run a marathon, take the fastest men in the world against the fastest female, they might be 10 to 15% slower. But for strength, the strongest man in the world versus the strongest female, it's going to be significantly different. Think of it. Half Thor, the mountain deadlifting around what? 1,100 pounds? How many women are deadlifting close to that? None, as in a zero. A zero!
I'm still drunk, sorry.
And so why is she drunk the night before this competition? I mean, to drown out the sorrows of her existence? Why are we drinking before an athletic event? Imagine Coach Greg drinking alcohol, which, by the way, is a class 1 carcinogen, and so it clearly gives a lot of people cancer. Why would you consume that the day before a competition?
I would say anything that has endurance involved. I feel like I'm pretty above average. This is light work. I do this every day.
As you can see, not 100% fair. There's some endurance involved. This man, he has perhaps a regular job where he has to be on his feet. He does endurance activities. I mean, he doesn't look shredded. He hasn't 15% body fat, but clearly his endurance is far above average. And so average Joes who perhaps don't lift weights but are involved in any form of cardio, well, they're going to be at an advantage.
Average Joe, fill the barrel.
From the beginning, we probably would have changed it and done the assembly line from the start.
Why did they all go?
Is she admitting that men are smarter than women? Or is it perhaps that men have greater teamwork? Or is it just that men who are average Joes and aren't trained athletes, that they know they need to work together in comparison, women who are perhaps very competitive, perhaps with other men, other women, I don't know, that they want to take it all amongst themselves? I mean, or it could be just the biology. The men are just better than the women, especially at an event like this.
Event number 3, deadlift. Any questions?
I have a question for neon laces. With your running shoes, would you like a lesson on how to deadlift?
Sure.
Imagine if the man had said that, looked over at the woman and said, hey, I see you're wearing running shoes. Do you need me to teach you how to deadlift? I mean, obviously you don't know how to deadlift. You're wearing running shoes. You don't want to limit the range of motion. And so a little cocky now, isn't it? Now, the way this is set up, it doesn't really make any sense. Each person has to do 10 reps. The first one, each person has to do 10 reps with that weight. And the first time that a team has one member who can't get the 10 reps, then the entire team is eliminated. And so essentially what this means is whichever team has the weakest link loses. What if it had been everyone do as many reps as possible, we'll add it up or we'll divide it by 3 and we'll take the average of the group? Not the weakest, but the average. Third option, send in your greatest lifter and we'll send in ours and we'll see who comes out on top for each event. Also would make sense. This, it does not.
I have nothing to prove today. I am here to have fun because that's what life's all about, having fun.
Bro can't deadlift. You can hear it in his voice. You know, I can tell how much somebody can lift by the sound of their voice. And he clearly cannot out deadlift some female powerlifters.
4th event, Kugel push. Here are the rules. No face striking, no striking in the groin, no striking in the chest.
You ever see that famous boxing match in the military overseas and the woman wanted to box against the men thinking that it would somehow be fair? She got humbled real quick, and so this is not going to look good for the ladies. Now, unless they're trained boxers, UFC fighters, just because you're a little bit more jacked, you lift weights, doesn't mean you're going to be able to fight against an average male.
Get in, Montana, get
on,
it.
Montana.
Come on,
Montana.
Montana
Get low,
is a
get low.
black belt in McMath. Don't go down
stay
the
low,
circle.
stay low, stay low.
She's a black belt against an average Joe. I do believe she might even weigh more than this man, and yet I still think she's going to lose.
One time. There it is.
Good game.
2 points for the Joes.
I'm just trying not to hurt him.
I'm trying not to hurt him, she says with a smile. At least I do believe she's being sarcastic. I think she probably was trying to hurt him. She actually did better than I thought. Remember, we're talking about men versus women in push fighting.
3, 2, 1, go.
Get in there. Low. Hey!
Oh, hey,
That
Sue.
was a face hit. That was a face hit. What are you guys talking about?
So she hit him in the face. You're not allowed to hit in the face. The rules were clear. And so let's imagine the roles were reversed. If the man had hit the woman in the face in order to win the point, what do you think would have happened? They would have taken the point away. But because it's a man, benefit of the doubt. That it's what's like in the real world. And add to that, if it's a beautiful female, when you're a beautiful woman, you don't know the struggles of this world. You don't get it. It's not your fault. You don't understand this, but beautiful women don't have real problems with men, money, stresses of life, everything. It's essentially easy. Even their interactions are different. And so, for example, if you take a beautiful woman and she were to gain 100 pounds, go down a few notches, she would quickly realize that the world is not what it once seemed.
Go. Good strength by Brooke. Average Joe's, point.
Good game.
All I can say is, like, you can see, like, even average Joes, some of these average Joes are going to be talented. Average Joe's, this guy, he looks like he can fight. He's pretty tough. He seems to be athletic, and he's not a super athlete. He's an average Joe, which is clearly at a biological advantage even over a female power lifter. And so in case you're wondering, because I do try to make educational videos, even though you just think it's all drama, when you're comparing male and female physiology, the lower body, it's significantly closer than the upper body. And so if you're comparing how much, for example, a woman can squat and a man can squat, especially at the same body weight, it actually could be very close. But in the upper body, take a bench press, they are going to be significantly weaker. And so a male and a female, same body weight, I would say the female could probably lift 90% as much as the male, but in the bench press, it's probably going to be 60% of that of the male. And so if they're setting up a competition, males against females, and it's the bench press, you bet the house that the males are winning. But if it is in fact the squat and it's pound for pound, it's going to be a lot closer.
3 points for average Joes, 1 point for strong ladies. This is absolutely crazy. I thought this is going a completely different way than I originally anticipated.
I anticipated the score at this point would be 4-0. I thought the men would win every single event. And so technically it isn't going the way I predicted, but overall the men are clearly winning.
Last final event, tug-of-war, the ultimate test of strength and endurance. Humans have been tugging for thousands of years.
It's a tug-of-war. It's weight against weight, and pound for pound, these men are going to be stronger than these women. In particular, with a tug-of-war, remember educational video, grip strength among men, average men, is significantly higher than even trained women. If you've ever had a hand dynamometer, the grip strength, for example, I was seen testing the world's strongest man. I've gone to various people, Will Tennyson, Alex Eubank, and typically you will see that the men have significantly stronger than the women's grips.
Pull! Montana just past the barrel. Average Joe's, take the W.
And so you can see, lower body, the women perhaps would have been able to keep up with the men, but the men simply have much stronger grips. You're only as strong as your weakest link. We saw that in the deadlift where they forced the team to stop as soon as one of the men couldn't complete those 10 reps. And so in the tug-of-war, the hands are giving out. They can't continue to hold on. And so your hands are not strong enough to maintain the strength of your legs. And so therefore the females lose. This was, I do believe, 2 out of the 3 of the females were on performance enhancing drugs, or at least were on them. I don't believe they're 100% natural. It perhaps is all 3, but I do believe 2 out of 3. And that's against average men, average Joes, who I don't believe on performance enhancing drugs. If they were to redo this and it was 3 natty girls who work out, 3 natty jack girls against average Joes, it would have been even worse. And so girls, guys, understand it's biology. I do not fault the women for trying. They clearly did their best. They are far superior to the average female. And so imagine if it was 3 average females against 3 average Joes. It would have been a complete nightmare. Now, I'm not saying it's impossible for jack chicks to beat average Joes. If they took the 3 strongest women in the world, the top 3 athletes at the world's strongest female competition, and they put those 3 girls weighing perhaps over 200 pounds against these men, they might have actually had won.
What did we learn? Don't judge a book by its cover. Can we all hug? There's a lot of tension during today, and I just want to hug you.
Imagine if the average Joes were on Turk Builder Max and Turk Platinum, if they were on GO2 Max for improved cardio, or if they were on G-Test Platinum. I mean, can you imagine the difference that would make? If they wanted to lean out, they could clearly be using GLP Max. It would be able to reduce their cravings. It reduces it by about 28%. You go from being an 8 out of 10 hunger to a 6. And so it'll be easier than last time to stick to your diet. You're in a deficit. You will in fact lose weight, especially when coupled with my frigging cookbook, code Greg, for 15% off. And you of course can use code unemployed for 20% off, but that sale, it likely won't last forever, and so head over there right now. Now, if you need enclomiphene, testosterone, tadalafil, the list goes on and on. You can, of course, get these pharmaceutical prescription drugs from AlgoRx. use code Greg for 10% off. The doctors prescribe you these legal medications. It's all above board, it's all legal, and it's all pharmaceutical at about half price of Merrick Health. And so if you're trying to get all these products, peptides, and so on a budget, you want to go to AlgoRx. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algorithm, like the video if you liked it. Don't forget to watch those specific tube loops. And if you're looking to be a sponsored athlete, click the link in the description, as well as if you want to carry the supplements in your stores and or gyms, you click the link. And for coaching plans for me and my team, a link as well. And until next time, everyone, I am out.